What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Jaime Dee Show. Woo! Y'all can clap it up. Y'all can be excited. Y'all can be excited. Listen, we got some guests in today, and I'm super excited to bring them on. They're not coming on right now, so I want you guys to stick around. Everybody, this is the Jaime Dee Show live on KSHP AM 1400 and 107.1 FM every Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. until 12 p.m. PST out of Las Vegas, Nevada, and live on WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM every Monday through Friday from 1 p.m. until 2 p.m. CST out of the Elgin in the Chicagoland area. We're also live on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook at The Jaime Dee Show, and we're live on Instagram at It's Jaime Dee. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, it is Friday. We made it through the week. So sorry I was not able to attend a live show yesterday. Like I told you guys, I unfortunately had a passing in my family. May my Uncle Dino rest in peace. His funeral was yesterday, and we did lay him to rest. I was one of his pallbearers, and that was definitely a difficult time for my family. And so before we start the show, I just want to give my Uncle Dino another moment of silence. Thank you. And again, may my uncle rest in peace. I know that he is in heaven, living the life, living the dream, because it's kind of crazy down here in America and the world, to be honest. But yes, welcome in. It's Friday. We're going to lead today with positivity, love, light, and happiness, because that's exactly what everybody in the world wants to do, but sometimes can't achieve. And we're going to do that for them and provide that need for them today. I know my uncle would like that. So yes, welcome in. If you're just now tuning in, I'm going to be going over the daily news, and then we're going to have Jonathan Dudley and Jasmine Walker live on air today. And I can't wait to introduce them to you all. So make sure you stick around, all right? So, per the neighborhood talk, according to viral footage and several witnesses, Mrs. Rogers of Normandy High School in St. Louis, Missouri, was beaten to smithereens by a student after she allegedly prevented her from tending to a medical emergency. Witnesses say the student was attempting to get her seizure medication when Mrs. Rogers allegedly told her to sit back down. The student was said to have ignored Mrs. Rogers' request, and that's when Mrs. Rogers stood up, not knowing she would be knocked down just a few moments later. It's not clear how the physical altercation started, but at some point during the video, you can see the teacher and student both tugging on a purse in a locker hallway. The altercation is eventually broken up, but before the student and the teacher are escorted away from the crowd of students watching. During the escort, the student began to have a seizure, which is shown but not seen on the video footage. Video footage only shows staff trying to assist her through the emergency. An official report has not been released at this time. I want you to take a look at the fight between the teacher and the student that ensued so that you guys can get a picture of what actually happened. Now, I don't condone violence. I do not condone violence. However, I'm not completely mad at the students. I know that's going to sound like a contradiction. I know it is. I know. Please don't drag me on social media. But this girl literally suffered a seizure shortly after. It may have been because of the extremeness of that altercation. But again, if the student needed to take her medication, the teacher should have not stood in the student's way. And I just really hate when people take their power way too far, especially those teachers who tell students they can't go to the bathroom. Like, I had that experience growing up where teachers told me I couldn't go to the bathroom. And if anybody knows me, Jaime Dee be having to go to the bathroom. It's always been that way my entire life. I always have had to go to the bathroom. And when I have to go, I have to go. So it bothers me there's teachers in place right now who don't understand that not all students are just trying to be in the hallway. Not all students are just trying to leave the lesson. And some students really have to tend to their business, and it shouldn't be stopped. So may that be a lesson for both of them. Hey, teacher, don't stop a student who actually needs to go take their medicine. And also, hopefully, the teacher also understands, don't stand up. Let the student walk out. Call the principal. Like, let the security guards know that you should not be trying to stop a student who's going to walk out of your class. If they're going to walk out, let them walk out. All right. I just never, ever understood why certain things aren't just common sense. But as I got older, I truly understood that common sense isn't so common. I have to keep reminding myself that because it's hard for my brain to not refuse the fact that there are certain things people just don't know, refuse to learn, and are against. I saw this video today on the way to work, and I just had to share with you all. Literally had something else in place for today, but I'm like, no, I have to put this on the show. There is this doctor going viral on social media because she was reminding the general public that they need to change their underwear every day. And I'm baffled that this video even had to be created. However, there are people out there who need this video because they really don't know that they're supposed to change their underwear every day. Ew. Seriously, ain't no way people out here not changing their underwear. Just disgusting and foul. Take a look at this video that was created by this doctor.
Personally think you should change your underwear every day. It's my personal practice as a human, but also as a physician, I think that also for health reasons, it's wise. I think changing your underwear every day helps potentially lower the risk of moisture being trapped in your genital area and developing bacterial yeast infections and stuff like that. May lower the risk of rashes and irritation, exacerbations of eczema, psoriasis, if that's what you have. I think it's a wise thing, kind of like we change our clothes every day. I'm kind of along the lines of, yeah, let's change our underwear every day for those reasons and others. But the thing is, not everybody agrees with that. And there's a decent size percentage of the population who doesn't change their underwear every day. And yeah, I think there's a spectrum in terms of what people believe and what they think. And I do think some of it may be cultural in terms of where you live, how you grew up, what country you grew up in, etc. Could also be due to climate. Do you live in a hot climate? Are you sweating all the time versus not? So I think there are a number of factors. But I want to know, what do you do? What do you think? How often should you change your underwear every day? Let me know in the comments. Also, DM me if you want the full video, sort of explaining my rationale for why I say every day is probably a good way to go, and sometimes maybe even more, to change your underwear.
Insane. When I say insane, how do you not know to change your underwear? You disgusting little and y'all be out here want to do adult things with these people who don't be changing their underwear. Ooh, I just can't do it. I can't do it. Common sense is not so common, and that's so disappointing. Change your underwear. Wash your butt. Get in the shower. Brush your teeth. Like, these are things that okay, first of all, if you're not knowing to do these things, I blame the parents. Because why aren't the parents teaching their kids from a young age to do these things? You know how many men at my grown age of almost 30 still don't wash their behind? Still don't wash their behind. And the ones that are trying to aren't even washing it appropriately. Like, I'm disgusted. Ooh, please. Please, please, please keep these type of sentiments alive, because apparently common sense is not so common. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, I'm super excited because we're going to have Jonathan Dudley, creator and owner of LiBerated Chorale, and Jasmine Walker, owner and founder of More Than a Minority, live on air. So I want you guys to stick around because this is KSHP AM 1400 and 107.1 FM out of Las Vegas, Nevada, and WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM out of the Elgin and the Chicagoland area. Stick around. I'll be right back.
Ever take your car through the auto emissions lane only to experience the sinking feeling that your car has failed the test? Don't fret. Let Meineke at 376 Sundown in South Elgin fix the problem for you. Meineke's mechanics will determine the exact problem with your vehicle and suggest necessary repairs with Meineke's diagnostic service. Pass that test with help from the trained Meineke technicians. Call today for your appointment. 847-888-9644. That's 847-888-9644.
Batteries Plus Bulbs is more than batteries and bulbs. It's your repair shop for Apple devices, Samsung Galaxy devices, and more. Located on Randall Road, just south of 20 in Elgin, Batteries Plus Bulbs fills all your battery and light bulb needs in one stop. They have the largest selection of batteries for ATVs, cameras, phones, laptops, scooters, cars and homes, and everything else. Looking to save money with energy-efficient LED or holiday lighting? Stop in at Batteries Plus Bulbs in Elgin. Go to batteriesplus.com for special offers.
In the middle of the night, everything will be all right if you listen to Coast right here on WRMN 7 days a week from midnight to 5 a.m. Each night on Coast to Coast, listeners are captivated by George Noory with discussions on news and current events, conspiracy theories, UFOs, life after death, and all things curious and unexplained. Coast to Coast, every night, midnight to 5 a.m. right here on WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
In the middle of the night, everything will be all right if you listen to Coast, right here on WRMN 7 days a week from midnight to 5 a.m. Each night on Coast to Coast, listeners are captivated by George Newry with discussions on news and current events, conspiracy theories, UFOs, life after death, and all things curious and unexplained. Whether you're working third shift or you're just a night owl, catch the most listened to overnight talk radio program in North America, Coast to Coast, every night, midnight to 5 a.m. right here on WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Jaime Dee Show. Woo! Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. Yeah, live on KSHP AM 1400 and 107.1 FM every Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. until 12 p.m. PST out of Las Vegas, Nevada, and live on WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM every Monday through Friday from 1 p.m. until 2 p.m. CST out of the Elgin in the Chicagoland area. Y'all, I'm super excited for this part of the show because I get to interview two amazing individuals out of the Chicagoland area. Y'all, I have Jonathan Dudley, the creator and owner of LiBerated Chorale, and Jasmine Walker, owner and founder of More Than a Minority, who are about to join me live to discuss the history of LiBerated Chorale, what makes this choir different than other choirs, the purpose it serves in the greater community, why did Jonathan decide to make Aurora the choir's new home, why did LiBerated Chorale partner up with More Than a Minority, and more. So without further ado, I want you guys to welcome in two talented, beautiful, amazing, positive energy having humans who are on this earth doing some awesome things. Let's welcome in Jasmine Walker and Jonathan Dudley. What's up, guys? How are you doing today? You guys doing good?
Yeah, doing
Great.
pretty good.
Thank you so much for having
It's
us.
a pleasure. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for coming on to the Jaime Dee Show, and thank you so much for driving out here. I know you guys had things going on earlier in the day, but you guys still decided to be here, so I appreciate y'all.
Thank you for having us.
It's amazing. You guys are out here shining, looking great, and doing amazing things in this world. I personally see both of you guys on social media, and this is my first time meeting you, Jonathan. I've known you for a while, Jasmine.
I've known
And-
you my whole life. Whole life.
Pretty much whole life. And so it's so cool to have you in this space because we are both moving along in our lives and we're doing amazing things. And I just want to say congratulations on everything you're doing. And I'm super excited to get into this interview. So let's talk about it. So we're live on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook. There will be call-ins. There will be people commenting live. So I will be acknowledging those comments as well. But we're also live on the radio in Vegas and Chicago. So this is your chance to tell people about who you are. So exactly what is LiBerated Chorale?
Well, LiBerated Chorale is now a tri-city choir of singers consisted in the city of Chicago, Aurora, Illinois, and Beloit, Wisconsin. Initially, just to give like a background of how we started and who we are, I was an undergrad in Beloit College about 5 years ago, and I was restructuring what I tried to start as a gospel choir at my school. And I've always been passionate about just developing community amongst individuals who necessarily never felt like it was possible. And so Beloit was a place where it's a small town, and a lot of people knew each other but never did a lot of things together, and singing was one of the things. It's like 20 churches in one town, and I had the opportunity of, at the time, being able to sing at almost every big church in the town. And I just was like, you sing really good over here, you sing good too, why are we not in something together? Mm-hmm. And so 2019 came, summer 2019 came, and it was just like I just felt this certain urge to just start a choir. I always wanted to have a choir my whole life. I've been directing choir since I was 10 years old, but I felt the pull to start something in that city that evolved into something that I wouldn't realize that would not just be limited to Beloit. I came back home during the pandemic, reset myself, and then I said, let's see if we can like bring two different groups together, and then moved out into Aurora. I lived in Aurora for about 3 years, started to meet people out there, and I just found myself just like, I want to bring people into community that necessarily wouldn't have met each other if something like this didn't exist. And so my choir exists to not only create community, but to give people possibilities that over time may not, they may have X themselves out of. Like, we've gotten the opportunity to record a live album this past April, and just also getting to go different places to sing in different arenas. So my choir serves as a safe space for people to thrive in their singing gift as well.
I love that. So before we go to Jasmine and More Than a Minority, let's talk about this really quick. Liberated Chorale is something that started in Beloit, Wisconsin. It started while you were in undergrad, and when you saw that there was a need for choir singers like yourself to start a choir, to be in a choir that had a general purpose and that served the greater community of Beloit, Wisconsin. Why gospel choir, though, out of all type of choirs you could create it?
I think because it's my roots, I'm super passionate about it. And I like to say I'm reluctantly, ironically, over the past 5 years, out of all the engagements that we've been afforded to have, you would think because we're a gospel choir, a lot of it will be in gospel arena, but we've been afforded just the opportunity to be a part of, we've sang pop. We had a charity event that we did last year with the organization called Joey Song, and they just was like, we just want you all to come be a light, like bring church to pop. And so a lot of what I've noticed is because we are a gospel group, it's almost expected, but not expected at the same time that we bring a certain light to an area. And especially because a lot of the singers that I've kind of recruited, their roots are church too. And just wanted to take that genre to the next level, being another voice, bringing a different sound in, especially now just in the gospel music arena. There was a time where choirs were not necessarily existing for a long time, and now choirs are on the up and up again, and they're getting younger and younger. So I'm a part of that wave of like younger people are bringing the choir sound back.
I love that. And so would you say your roots were in the church? Did you actually grow up in the church?
Oh yeah, I'm a preacher's kid. My mother's my mother's
kid.
My mother's a preacher. My dad also rest his soul was a preacher as well. So my father was a musician. And so I like to tell people when they say, oh, you're gonna be a musician or you're gonna be a preacher, I'm like, the perfect combination of the two of them. You don't know how I'm gonna come when I sing.
That's beautiful. So, and while you were in college, did you have a choir group on your campus, or were you the one who started this for your campus in the city?
So I was a part of 2 ensembles on campus. I went to Beloit College partially on a music scholarship, but it wasn't. I was the first person to start to bring a gospel choir of sorts to campus. Beloit sits in a community. It's a predominantly white institute, but Beloit historically is a town that was a stop for a lot of us that came up through the Great Migration. So it's a mixture of dynamics in the town, but the culture of the town necessarily didn't seep into the school. And so luckily I was one of them people when I went to school, I said, I got to find a church that feels like home. And so what I found myself doing was, and I had a few friends that were from the town that went to Beloit too. They were trying to find different ways to bring community culture into, like, musically into the college. And I was one of the catalysts that did that. More so with the kids on campus, like, hey, we can do this. Let's make it feel like home away from home.
That's amazing.
And that evolved into creating a home away from home in our home away from home, if that makes sense.
Through the actual choir.
Yeah.
Now, you started this choir in Beloit, Wisconsin. It was a gospel choir. You got your start in singing because of your family and also because you grew up in the church. Why the name Liberated Chorale, though?
Liberated for me means freedom, means newness, means open possibility. At the time when I was starting it, I was going through a really, really big transition in my life. I got the blueprint and had the vision of my choir since I was 18, but something wasn't cracking the code for me. And so when I was 21 in 2019, I made one of the biggest decisions of my life to leave, transition from my childhood church into the church that I currently go to now. Just because, sometimes you got to leave the nest because you feel like there's more out there for you. And then I started just learning about the freedoms of, okay, I can create myself and how I am or exist differently in new spaces. Not that, and didn't leave for any bad reason, but you just kind of want to, just like when you go away to school and go to college, there's always just this newness that you feel.
Right.
And so with that came, not only was I able to just find myself, I started singing out places more with different people. My friends that I met through music, I started doing more things with them, and I just started feeling this freedom. And then I started praying like, okay, God, the choir idealist popped up again. What should the name of the group be? And then it was like, okay, Liberated. And partially because like our colors, our scheme, our Pan-African colors, it represents just the sense of freedom that comes with the historical freedom. I got my degree is in history, so it's like just adding those different elements. And so people ask me why not a cross for our logo. Open hands outstretched means like it's freedom for everybody if you want it. And my choir exists as, you know, you can find yourself, you can experience newness through being liberated.
Jonathan, thank you so much for giving me an easy segue to Jasmine Walker. Because you talked about being liberated, you talked about freedom, you talked about equality, you talk about inclusiveness, bringing people into a space where they feel like they have a home away from home. That goes right to you, More Than a Minority, which I don't want to say it for you because I want to give you your time to shine. But what I know is More Than a Minority is a nonprofit organization that pushes for inclusivity.
Yes.
So let's talk about it. Jasmine Walker, the floor is yours. What is More Than a Minority?
More Than a Minority is my baby. It is my nonprofit that I started because I believe that every human being is valuable. I think sometimes we go through so much trauma. We go through so many disappointments in life, and they plant root in us, and they make us believe that we are our circumstances, that we are all the bad things that people tell us that we are our insecurities, that we are our disappointments, that we are everything that makes us less than. And sometimes we need to be reminded that we are more than a minority, that when we're filling out these job applications, when we're filling out these grant applications, when we're filling out anything, when we have to check off a box that reminds us that we're not everything we thought we would be, that you're more than that. Because we bring happiness, we bring joy, we bring love, we bring peace to this world. And what would you pay for that? There's no price tag that you can put on that. And I want to remind people of it. And sometimes you just need a little bit of help. And so the main message of More Than a Minority is that if you are a human being, you are valuable. And we help people build the skills to realize their value and help organizations that sometimes forget because of systems of inequality that people are valuable and we are the people are what make the world go round.
I love that. I'm going to ring the bell for both of you guys. Now, before we go to break, Jasmine, professionally, hear me out. You are the Jasmine Run Up, Get Done Up Walker. And I want you to put a name to who are they? Who are these people who make you and other people part of their demographic feel like you're less than, you're not more than a minority?
I would say that they are corporations that take the small people. And when I say minorities, there is a category. So that is people of color, people who are women, LGBTQ, anything where you are put up against a category where you are categorized by the government as less than. It is very simple. If they are giving you money and categorizing you as a minority, there is a category with the government where you are categorized as a minority, and they make you feel like you are less than by a standard. And the reality is most of these categories of people have built this country, and they capitalize off of our creativity. They capitalize off of our brilliance. They capitalize off of our manpower to create great things in America, and it makes capitalism. And so when we think about how this country functions and how the American dream is built, it's built on the backs of minorities, but then we cannot turn around and benefit from it. They turn around and pin us against one another. And they put these ideals in our minds that make us think that we're not good enough to build our own communities and benefit from the things that we produce. There's something that's not adding up. And so with More Than a Minority, I want to flip that on its head. Why can't we take the same skill set and the same things that we are producing for these corporations and produce it for ourselves? It just takes a slight mindset shift and a little bit more creativity of working together, like Jonathan and I are doing, to realize our dreams. Even with Jaime, we are family, we are blood, of coming together and bringing our resources to make our dreams come true and not necessarily a corporation.
I love that. We're getting all these comments and questions already, but before we go to break, I have one more question for you, Jasmine. You're saying that this nonprofit actually gives services to those to make them feel more than a minority so that they're able to go and actually compete in the workforce and in their career fields. But you're also giving these corporations and organizations training to treat their employees and their applicants more than minority. What are the actual services you're providing?
Right. So we provide college and career readiness services. So on the college side, a big part of it is college applications. One, they're very daunting.
Yep.
And a lot of people, their parents may have gone to college, but your parents may have filled out a paper application or the platforms that they used to apply to college were just really outdated, and they may not even know the questions or the platforms that are being used. And so we help students fill out college applications and try to streamline that process. In addition to that, we help them figure out how to pay for college, because kids want to understand the price of things. Like, they don't understand the price of a burger, let alone the price of college. And so understanding the price of these schools and how to pay for it. In addition to that, parents sometimes feel that their students cannot go to certain schools because they don't understand how they're going to pay for an $80,000 college tuition, a $50,000 college tuition, when they don't make that type of money in a year.
Right.
But there are a lot of different financing options. In addition to that, on the career side, people just don't know what type of careers are out there. And people also need to know not just what type of careers are out there, but be coached on how to make it through your first 90 days. What should you wear? How do you prepare for an interview? What type of things should you put on your resume? And just different coaching and different things throughout their career. So we are meeting the needs of the people, and we very much listen to our community and what they need, because due to the pandemic, a lot of things change so fast.
Yep, and they're still changing.
They're still changing. And so we are revamping our programs right now to meet the needs of the pandemic, because the services that we were offering in 2021 need to be revamped, because what jobs and people and colleges are looking for in 2024 are very different right now.
Yep.
And so I'm just going to be very transparent and honest and say that we are updating so that we can meet the needs of our community right now, because we don't want to give people outdated stuff. Who wants something that's not working? I don't.
Facts.
So we will be launching new services in the spring. And so right now we're taking the time to revamp them, but those are some of the services that we do offer.
Love that. Thank you so much. All right, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to have some more questions for you guys. Y'all, this is the Jaime Dee Show, live on KSHP out of Las Vegas, Nevada, and live on WRMN out of the Elgin and the Chicagoland area. We have more Jonathan Dudley and Jasmine Walker, so stick around.
Hey there, it's Tammy Scully with the Radio Shop Show, inviting you to live large for less by listening to the Radio Shopping Show weekdays from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., 4 to 6 p.m., and on Saturdays from 8 until noon. Check out our website at WRMN1410.com or visit us at 14 Douglas Avenue in Elgin, home of local radio for 75 years, including the Radio Shopping Show for over 40 years. We are WRMN AM 1410 and WRMN 1410 Radio on Facebook.
For local information and fun times in the mornings, listen to Marky B and Larry Jones on the first shift.
Maybe we need to get a radio intern in to help you.
Maybe so.
Somebody that you won't have to pay and you can treat them tough.
I can haze them.
You can't haze. You'll get fired. Remember that guy from Northwestern?
Yeah.
Gone.
Did he really do it?
You don't have to really do it. If somebody says you did,
yeah,
good enough. Maybe I'm going to accuse you of hazing me. I don't have to prove it.
It's the first shift, weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. right here on WRMN.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Jaime Dee Show. Woo! Yes. Oh, y'all got on. Yes, finally caught on. Live on KSHP AM 1400 and 107.1 FM every Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. until 12 p.m. PST out of Las Vegas, Nevada, and live on WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM every Monday through Friday from 1 p.m. until 2 p.m. CST out of the Elgin and the Chicagoland area. We're also live on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook at The Jaime Dee Show. That's spelled TheJaimeDeeshow. And we're also live on Instagram right now at It's Jaime Dee. That's ITSJaimedee. DEE. Now, look, you're more than welcome to call in at 847-931-1410. Again, that's 847-931-1410. I'm going to say it one more time. 847-931-1410 if you want to ask some questions and get live on the radio. Now, if you're at work or if you're in a space where you can't call in, remember, if you comment live on the YouTube, if you comment live on the Instagram, I will see your comments and I'll acknowledge them. But don't forget, if you're watching right now for Jasmine or Jonathan, this is for y'all. Support the kid. I'm also in need of support. I know I'm on the radio. I know I have a celebrity status, but like, comment, subscribe, help me. Help me. Now, if you're just now tuning in, I went over some daily news. And now we have the immaculate Jonathan Dudley and the boisterous, awesome, persevering Jasmine Walker out here. I have to give her 3 just because I want to see her dance a little bit. Y'all missed. I should have them on the radio, but in the video. Without further ado, let's welcome them back in. Jonathan Dudley and Jasmine Walker. We have Liberated Chorale and More Than a Minority live on the radio. Now, this is for you, Jonathan Dudley. I want to go ahead and mention this because a member of Alpha, Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, you want me to say that out loud, I guess, on Instagram at @squeeze_me wants to know, how do you bring modernity to gospel music while making sure to stay true to the word of God?
That's a good question.
Oh, you done stumped them. You done stumped them.
Can you ask that question one more
Yeah,
time?
the question was from @squeeze_me on Instagram. Says, how do you bring modernity to gospel music while making sure to stay true to the word of God?
I think, gospel music has been known to be just musically a melting pot of many genres, but also has been known to be true to what the gospel is, which is the word of God. So I think as a gospel artist and just as a songwriter in general, I've learned to musically take the risk, but be true to the lyrics, be true to what the Bible says, be true to my interpretation of the Bible, be true to how living and learning and how the Bible, navigating the Bible as a young man, how it relates to my life. So being true to my walk, but also not being afraid to take those risks musically. And you can ask any one of my choir members. I love hymns. Recently, church hymns have really taken me down, really emotionally on set. My mom's so loud. She probably tell me not to say that. But just the emotions of it. And I think because I have such an appreciation for the history of gospel, it's what keeps me rooted in what gospel music really is, what choir gospel music really is.
That's a great answer. Now, with that being said, you said that this is a space where you do grow. You do continue to find new ways to implement gospel music in your choir and in the community. What makes this choir different than other choirs?
I would say what makes my choir different from other choirs is how I started it, to be honest. I'm not sure what anyone else's story is. I can only tell mine, but I started it with the intentionality of getting worship leaders together from separate churches and creating a hub where that term iron sharpens iron. I never looked at myself as some way as, yes, I'm the leader of the group, but it's really Liberated Chorale with Jonathan Dudley, just kind of operating and just behind the scenes of like, okay, let me introduce you to each other and then going from there. And just seeing the personal growth between everyone that lives in Beloit, Chicago, and Aurora, just seeing like how musically we've grown together, where it's like, okay, I'm listening to you on church this morning. You stole that from the choir rehearsal. Like in a good way. Like, okay, yeah, you stole that technique from rehearsal. But like, honestly, I started it for it to be a space of resource to people, not where it's like, okay, we're this choir, we're coming up. Like initially, and you could ask some of my founding members, I told them, I said, while other choirs are out in the business of literally starting to make money and to make music, they know that recording was never in the cards for me. At first I said it's a possibility, but I really just want us to come together and create a space. We can do the concerts, but if anything, if we don't do one concert, we gather for a rehearsal just to learn from each other, just to worship together. So learning while practicing the art of worship at the same time. Just created a space just for people to get resources.
That makes sense. Now, you said you created a space for people to make resources. However, you wouldn't have expected, because you didn't plan for this to be as big as it is now. And for some people, they may be listening on the radio like, oh my God, you're interviewing somebody who has a choir. Like, it's just a choir. But to you and to everybody in the community, this is more than just a choir. You have actually made an impact in the Tri-City area. And I want you to talk about this. How has your choir grown from just a small group on a college campus to now being in 3 different major cities?
I would say it took a very long process of, and still for me, embracing my difference. Nothing when you love, I always, and my mother grounds me in this, when you love something, it's never going to be easy to act it out. But once you embrace your difference, it makes it a lot easier. I think when we let comparison kill in my beginning phases, I did used to let comparison kill because it's like, why is everybody moving faster than me? But when you're cultivating something and building something that's meant to be different over time, it's not going to always be easy. And so I remember, just like to answer that question with an example, just picture where we are in the world, March 2020. We hate to talk about it. At that time, my choir was, let's see, the exact date was on my mother's birthday, March 16th. We were literally a month and maybe about 10 days from my first concert in the city of Beloit. At the time, I had about 10 choir members, and it devastated me to tell everybody we have to shut down because it's unsafe to meet as a choir.
Yeah.
And I came back home because I had to leave campus. I was at my cousin's house, quarantine, and I just was like, I wouldn't get this big idea all for it to just blow up. And there's nothing that's coming out of it. And so I came back home and I said, let me start seeing what the interest is with my close friends that I grew up with in my childhood church, as well as some of my friends I sung out with. I was like, let me pitch this vision to them. And they were like, we got you whenever we're able to come back together. And then I said, hey, Beloit, we still got this thing going. Are y'all ready to come back in 2021? I was like, yeah, let's do it. And as crazy as it's going to sound when I say this, every other week, I would be twice a month driving up to Beloit from work. So I get off at 4:00. I'd be heading straight to Beloit to have a rehearsal at 7:00, leaving and going back home. And Beloit, roughly, to give you like a time of where it is, it's about an hour and a half northwest of Chicago, 30 minutes away from Rockford. So I would rehearse the same songs with one group of people in another state. I would be up there on Fridays and I'd be in Chicago on Thursdays. And I was like, I said, this isn't easy. I did that for 3 years. Did it for 3 years. I said, it isn't easy. And I said, how am I going to get these people in one space? But I had to, even though it's car rides, I used to just vent and I used to pray like, God, why? He's like, you have to embrace your difference, Jonathan. It's going to work. And so when we had our first concert, my god brother who was playing for me at the time, I said, bro, I done taught these different people, the groups of people songs. He's like, if you're the teacher, the sound's going to be the same because it's coming from you. And from then I knew for it. I said, yeah, we can do this. When I first heard them sing the first song together, I said, wow. I said, I cried. They can tell I cried at rehearsal. And so I just embraced my difference. And even then, like, of course, now with gas being the way it is, I don't drive back and forth. And so Aurora has become that new community for us. It's a halfway point. A lot of us still have to drive, but we don't mind doing it because it's like, we created this culture that feels different, that feels new. A good chunk, I wouldn't say a lot, but a good chunk of people, they have sung with other groups or are just getting back into the game. I have an intergenerational group of people now. So my oldest in the choir is in her 60s and the youngest is like, I'm the second youngest in my choir. So I have a group of people who have been able to be in other musical aggregations. And that's like, this just feels different.
Makes sense. So the phones are actually ringing off the hook right now. And I want to bring in one caller. We have Kara calling from Phoenix, Arizona, who's listening live right now. Kara, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you? How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Great to hear your voice live on the radio. So you have an actual question. Who's your question for?
For both of them.
Okay, go ahead.
What's your favorite hymn?
What's your favorite hymn? You stumped him, Karen. Oh, they got you. They called you on your bluff. What's your favorite hymn since you love him so much?
Ooh. I want to say all of them, but can I give my top three if that's okay?
Go ahead.
My favorite top three would be, and don't quote me on the names, Great Is Thy Faithfulness. And then the one that goes, lift him up till he speaks from eternity. If I Be Lifted Up, that one. And then It Is Well.
Can you give us a little snippet of the first one?
Great Is Thy Faithfulness.
Your voice ready? Jasmine, you next.
All right, cough.
She asked both of y'all.
Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. That's all I got.
Okay, Jasmine.
I like the blood because they sing it during communion, and I feel like I need that every month. I'm not singing it, Jamie.
You're not gonna sing it? You can't do it a little bit. You got some water next to you. You never know who's listening. You might get a record deal.
I'm not gonna get a record deal. I just want to say that Jonathan really encouraged me to join his choir because it's been a really long time since I was singing. I had a background in singing, but my ministry is worship. I'm a worshiper. I cry every time I sing, so I do not want to cry on air.
It'd be great.
That would not be great.
Can really feel it. Bring God through the microphone.
A
little bit. Just a little bit.
Okay.
Yay!
I'm done. The blood that gives me strength, it will never lose its power.
Yes. Sarah, thank you so much. You did that with that question. Thank you so much. Gina Chandler on YouTube says, LOL. She said, I'm not getting a record deal. Dead. All right, y'all. We're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to have more Jonathan Dudley and Jasmine Walker. Quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. This is KSHP out of Las Vegas and WRMN out of the Elgin in the Chicagoland area. Stay tuned.
Discover the charms of life along the Mother Road, historic Route 66 at the Hampton Inn of Litchfield, Illinois. The Hampton is off of Route 55, just 56 miles northeast of St. Louis. Dine in at Nancy's Pizza next door, or the historic Ariston Restaurant on Old 66. Cruise into a drive-in movie. And for fishing, boating, and hiking, Lake Louieacre is the centerpiece of Litchfield's bustling outdoor culture. For reservations, call 217-324-4441.
Experts say regular auto maintenance is one of the most important things for your car. Meineke Car Care Center at 376 Sundown Road in South Elgin covers all your automotive needs. From oil changes, brake services, and emission testing, Meineke's expert staff provides hard work and dedication with the utmost professionalism. Need an oil change? Visit Meineke in South Elgin for their 23-point inspection. Call 847-888-9644.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Jaime Dee Show. Woo! Yes, live on KSHP out of Las Vegas, Nevada, and live on WRMN out of the Elgin and Chicagoland area. Also live on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook at the Jaime Dee Show. That's TheJaimeDeeshow. If you're listening and watching on the YouTube right now, because I see we have more viewers than we do commenters, remember, you can just log in using your Gmail account so you can comment live. So if you want to get your questions answered, comment live on the YouTube or call in at 847-931-1410. Again, that's 847-931-1410. Shout out to Kara from Arizona. You did that. All right, so Jonathan Dudley, Jasmine Walker, you guys just sang some hymns for us. You did that. You're getting comments on YouTube saying beautiful voices. You're getting other comments that are saying, yes, I love it. I love great is thy faithfulness. People are really enjoying you both. Now, you're a part of the choir, you said. You said Jonathan actually, encouraged you to join. But you also have your nonprofit organization, More Than a Minority, and you guys also partnered Liberated Chorale and More Than a Minority. So why did this partnership come about and how?
Honestly, in rehearsal one day, Jasmine asked me, she said, hey, I like the vision of what you're trying to do. Can we partner together? And months beforehand, I just recently met Jasmine and kind of got to know her maybe like April of last year. We started talking on and off, and I knew about what she was doing. And she always said, let me know if you ever need me to help, I'm always like just down for like community. And I said, you know, we'll be in touch. And then we actually had to sing together in a choir at a funeral for one of our friends. His sister passed away. And I said, hey, you want to come sing in my choir for this concert for Black History Month, like back in December? And just started sharing the vision of the choir. She said, this aligns with exactly what I'm trying to do. And I remember these exact words she said, the way up is together. And I just was like, yes, like kindred spirits, because I'm never one. I don't like to feel like I'm in competition with people. I'm in competition with my old self, because there's room for everybody at a table, whether you create the table or it's the table made for you. And so that really appealed to me, because it's like, you know, we're all doing these great things and they all are aligned to what the one word is, community. So why not figure out a way to make it work?
I love that. So what exactly do you do though as partners, More Than Minority and Liberated Chorale? Are you giving them services to help them in the career field? Like what exactly does that look like?
So our partnership looks like he focuses on the music and bringing his strengths on the music side and the programming for the actual concert. More Than a Minority, my strength is community building, and I'm from Aurora. So I have been in the Aurora community for a while. So making sure that we get good publicity, and also my nonprofit has been in the community a little bit longer. And so bringing the people that I have already surrounding the community. So one thing was like this radio interview. In addition to that, I also have a great community partner that I've worked with for a while now. When I started my nonprofit, the Black Excellence Society, shout out to them. And that is a national organization. And so we have them backing us also in partnership for this event. And so bringing that audience in and hopefully be able to get some corporate sponsors from them. And so when we all work together, it's not necessarily about who is doing what. It's like, what are you good at doing? Bring that to the table. We could figure out who gonna do what when we know what you know how to do. And so I just said, this is what I know how to do. I know how to design things. I have some great people that are on the radio. I know some people that are really good at event planning. I know some people that do this, and this. What do you need? Is really more of the question. So it's more of a needs-based assessment, and this is what I can offer. There was a choir member who wanted an ad, and I was able to design that for her. So it's not necessarily about, oh, well, you stay in your lane and you do this. It's more of a kumbaya, I'll say, of saying, well, what do you need? And we can find somebody to fill that need, is the way we work together. And I can say working with John so far, I think it's been 2 or 3 weeks into this. It's really like, hey, do you know someone that can do this? And we've been able to work really well together in this partnership. And just uplifting each other's spirit and taking feedback from each other really well. And it's no one is the head honcho in this. No organization is over each other. It's like, hey, we want to do what's best for the community and making sure that your vision is fulfilled, and that at the end of the day, God put a vision in both of our hearts. And it's the same goal is for him to be glorified in the work that we're doing. But it's slightly different. His is for music. Mine is for education and college excellence. And so it's a little bit different, but
it's like community basedness.
Exactly. It's for the community, and both are needed. And so we want to reach the people. We want to do the work of God, and there's no competition here. There's more room at the table for partnership. So if you got something, come on.
That's beautiful. So real quick, we only have a couple of minutes left before the show is over. I know Black History Month is coming up. You said last year you had a concert. Do you have any concerts coming up soon that we can actually go, pay for, support, any of that?
Yep. So February 17th, Liberated Chorale partners with More Than a Minority. We are doing Live in the Valley. Calling it Live in the Valley because it's in Fox Valley, but in Aurora, Illinois, Saturday, February 17th. The doors are going to open at 4:45. The concert starts at 5:30. We got a pre-show going on at 5. It's located at Main Baptist Church, situated in Aurora. The address is 814 East Galena Boulevard. They've been gracious enough to host our choir for this event. We have some special guests coming up, so it's a little sentimental for us. This is our first concert in the city of Aurora.
Is it going to cost?
No, so it's free admission. It's going to be a free will offering, but a part of the campaign that we're also doing is we want to highlight Black-owned businesses and different entrepreneurs in the area. So we're doing an ad book, and so you have the opportunity to actually be a part of our concert by showcasing your business as well during Black History Month.
I love that. Now we are pretty much out of time, but before we go, I want to give those listening in and those that are watching on the streaming platforms a snippet of Liberated Chorale. So everybody, pay attention. Pay attention. I love that. Now, before we end the show, let everybody know how they can follow you and support you and also show up to the concert.
Okay. So you can follow me on Instagram at more_than_.
Did you forget your tag?
It's so many underscores. It's more_than_. Then __ minority, and then my personal page is jazz.peration.
I'm gonna need you to get like a more than minority 1, 2, 3 or something like that.
That's it.
It's not available.
How about you, Jonathan?
You can follow our choir's page at on Instagram at liberated.chorale. On Facebook, we're at Jonathan Dudley and Liberated Chorale. I'm on Facebook at Jonathan Dudley, and I'm also on Instagram at jonathan.dudley_.
Love that. All right, guys. This has been the Jaime Dee Show live on KSHP. I'm super excited to have you guys on. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for ringing the bell. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Support Jaime Dee as well. Support Jaime Dee, please. Thank you. All right, guys. If you want to promote your business, products, services, or music, hit us up at info@jaimedee.com. Again, that's KSHP out of Las Vegas, and that's also WRMN out of the Elgin and Chicagoland area. I love y'all. Have a great weekend and be safe.
Hi, I'm Marky B from the First Shift Morning.
Thank you all for
Engage in long, hard, deep conversation.